So, I wouldn't talk about Tower Defense X's flaws if it wasn't some of the most disgusting balancing choices that I have seen in a while. And what I mean exactly by disgusting balancing choices is Frosty's invasion and its Part 2. Part 2 of the event itself has one of the best executed gameplay loops in the game currently. But if it was another developer that isn't John ROBLOX, it wouldn't be held down by some of the worst balancing known to man. Okay, with introductions out of the way, let's just begin with my own critiques. This video is not to harass the developers, far from it. I just want to give the developers advice. If they take it, or they don't, that's their problem. Because calling off something as a skill issue for a major design flaw is just stupid to me. And how to not start off if not with the biggest issue that makes this event really frustrating to triumph. Obviously, I'm talking about General Cergal, the main boss fight that this event holds. The boss fight itself isn't actually an issue. This guy is a real fun and tough fight. But it's the way Commander Cergal works. The normal version of this fight is okay, but Nightmare Mode has this one singular issue where Cergal decides to replenish over 2 million health every 2 seconds. This literally softlocks you and your game, because you do not get any money while the enemy is shielded. And the way to fix this is very simple. Limit the times that the boss can make a shield to around only 2 times throughout the entire fight. They can also be scripted to happen when the boss reaches a certain amount of health. And that's the first issue I have with this event. There's also another one, which I think I can full-heartedly say is one of the most childish things that John ROBLOX has done. And that is calling people garbage for not using his own loadout that he made to be the most efficient loadout to beat this event solo. And yes, I am aware that beating Nightmare Mode with lower end towers is possible. It is extremely difficult and requires a ton of precision and microing skill to get through General Cergal. But if you are calling people that want to use other towers for an event garbage, then I do not know what is wrong with you. Perhaps seeing a therapist would actually benefit you, and stepping away from game development as a whole. Okay, back to the topic at hand. What is the loadout I'm talking about exactly? This is the loadout in question. High-end towers that you can get after around 40 to 50 hours in the game. That is some time that people that have a job do not have. And the main issue why the loadout choices feel so limited is just because John felt like balancing the event for this one loadout. That is not how balancing a tower defense game works at all. I think if it's balancing that should be talked about, I cannot give much constructive criticism or advice on how to improve the balancing, since I already gave out the main issue on the subject on the first argument of this video. And I think I'm going to cut my rant short here. There isn't much to explain when there are literally like 2 issues with the balancing of the mode itself that keep getting thrown off by the developers. What do you think the developers should change in their ways of balancing the game? Give suggestions in the comments. This was your host with a robotically synthesized voice. Virus detected, now clocking off.